If we're talking marriage, chemistry or compatibility?
For me, I would pick chemistry any day. Remember, lead with your heart, so chemistry goes with heart. Magic, it's called magic.
Magic.
You can do magic. You can have everything that you desire. Magic, right? You know you're the one who can put out the fire or light the fire.
Okay, I love that.
It's Sophia Franklin. You are listening to Sophia with an F, and the F is for phenomenal.
Welcome to Sophia with an F. I don't even need to explain who this is next to me. You are a legend, an icon. This is Luann de Lesseps from Real Housewives of New York City. How are you, Luann?
I am so good. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much.
We just met, so.
We just met, and she gave me powder. We're already vibing, and we're dressed like twins. So we're ready to go.
It's New York. Black is black. Nothing better than black.
I love how I try to make it like this thing. Like, we're twinsies, we're both in black. You're like, honey, we're in New York. That would be every single person. So I want to ask you, because Valentine's Day, and we'll get into Real Housewives and all of that stuff.
I'm sure we will.
You're like, this is the 900,000th time I've had to talk about Real Housewives.
Right.
That's basically become your identity.
Well,
of sorts.
Yeah, of course. God, when we started 15 years ago, or almost 16 now, I never imagined the show would become such a huge franchise.
Right.
We didn't know. We were just doing our thing. And we came around when Sex and the City was still on and Desperate Housewives. And those shows have been gone, aside from Sex and the City coming back now, which I love. But, it was kind of the reality version of those things kind of combined.
Right.
And, it's been such a ride. And I would have never dreamed it taken me this far. I spun off into Crappie Lake, which is streaming on Peacock now.
How is that?
Crappie Lake was a total departure from Housewives for me. When they came, originally the producers did The Simple Life. They did all the Kardashians. And when they came to Bravo and said, who do you have for the show? They picked Sonia and myself, which is Sonia and Lou, like Laverne and Shirley.
They picked the two best, in my opinion.
Thank you, darling. And, it was such a great trip, and it was a great job for me in terms of being able to go into the small town and helping people. So it was a big departure. It was comedy as opposed to Housewives drama stuff. It was really about helping this town, and it was a dream job for me because to be able to be somewhere, a small town, help people come back after COVID was really a dream job. And we did a whole variety show with the townspeople. We helped the dog shelter and get the dogs outside. They had nowhere to be outside.
Wow.
Built a playground for, a neighborhood that needed one.
Wow.
So it was really, and we worked directly with the mayor. So it was fun and it felt really good.
And it felt really good. You've always, I feel like from season 1 of Real Housewives, have been very into charity work, always.
Yes,
so that must have been great for you.
Yeah, I've always tried to highlight, because, we do have a platform, right? So, it started with the homeless, then it was the Cancer Society, then it was, people who had been, gone to jail and needed help when they come out of jail after a long time, called the Fortune Society. So I've always tried to highlight the things that I care about, because we do have a platform and we do help raise awareness and money.
I agree. And you're making me look a little bit bad right now, Luann.
And what do you mean? You look amazing.
You're like, we have a platform. We should, which I do want to get more involved.
Well, your platform is huge. And so you have a great opportunity there also to do a lot of.
So maybe you can show me a thing or two after this.
Sure.
Tell me where to sign up, because I'm ready to go.
Sure. Good for you, Sophia.
Thank you. Okay, so we have Valentine's Day coming up.
Yes.
Do you think the girl needs to get the man a present? Do you think the man needs to get the woman a present?
For Valentine's Day? I think it goes both ways.
Okay.
And the present could be, something simple like a love note on the mirror and red lipstick in the morning when he wakes up. Happy Valentine's Day. With a big heart and your lips on the mirror. I mean,
that's
it is about the heart, right? Valentine's is all about love and the heart. And I feel like when you lead with your heart, it's very hard to lose. So when you're trying to predict and you're trying to you're trying to make things happen, with your head, that's when you should really try to get into your heart and say, this is how I feel. I think people have a hard time showing their emotions because they're afraid.
Yeah.
What's there to be afraid of? I'm a hopeless romantic. So I've been married twice, I think 3 times the charm. And I think that, people need to take more chances. And what can happen?
I agree.
What can happen? Like you get a no, or I didn't like that, or whatever. But at least you've done it with your heart. And that's why I say, like, a love message as simple as that on a mirror in the morning. When he wakes up, he goes to the bathroom to go pee pee.
It's sexy.
And he sees this sexy love note on the mirror.
Right.
With your lips on, use red lipstick, of course.
Of course.
Very effective.
I would have never thought to do that as a gift.
Right.
Something simple.
Or a love note.
Or a love note. Because people think, I need to shell out a ton of money.
No, you just need to, be thoughtful.
And go with the heart.
Come from your heart. That's it.
I really liked hearing what you just said. I've been married twice, but I'm a hopeless romantic, 3 times the charm.
Right.
I am 31. I don't think I've ever been in love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever allowed it.
Right.
I think I always have my walls up.
There you go.
How have you been able, did you never have a wall up? Like with your first husband?
Well, no, with my first husband, it was love at first sight, really. I knew he was going to be my guy.
How
they
soon?
call it a coup de fou en français, which means love at first sight. I knew. He came up to me after 5 days and he said, you're going to be the mother of my children. I said, I know. And he asked me to marry him soon after. We got married 2 weeks later. And, I feel like a lot of times when that kind of opportunity comes to us, we're afraid of it. And when the train doors open up, you either get on the train or the doors close and it takes off without you.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like people miss opportunities all the time. And I think it is because they have walls up. They're afraid to show their true emotions.
Right.
They're afraid to show their heart because they're afraid of getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only thing to fear is fear itself. And that is so true. So, don't be afraid. What,
Right.
you think you have the rest of your life? We only have today.
No,
We don't know if we
me.
have tomorrow. So go full in, jump in, and take a chance. And I feel like people aren't doing that today. And listen, because of social media, because of how unavailable we make ourselves. You go to a bar now and people are on their phones instead of striking a conversation with somebody next to them. You know what I'm saying? So communications are down because of so many things in our lives. We have busy lives, we're on our phones, social media. And I think there's too many, there's distractions. And I was going to say flags everywhere, and it's hard to concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel I'm a big manifester. So I feel like whatever it is you want in your life, you have to put it out there in the universe.
Yeah.
What you say to yourself means a lot. I am when I first came to New York, I was a model and I had 2 roommates. One was in real estate. The other one was in finance. And I was a model, the one many thousands. And they're like, well, what makes you think you're going to get the job? I'm like, well, I'm just as good as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't think you're great, nobody else will think you're great. When you put out there that you want to manifest love or, you're interested in someone,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to show it. Playing hard to get, is so old school.
Right.
I
It's
feel
not
like
cool.
No, I feel like you really have to approach somebody. I do that all the time. Look at me and on the Ultimate Girls Trip.
Mm-hmm.
Ramona's like, oh, look at her. It's like a shark attack. And I was waiting. and then the music was like, dunna, dunna. As I was swimming around this hot guy in the ocean, right? I was attracted to him. And I was like, he is hot.
Uh-huh.
So I was waiting. And sure enough, a girl comes along with 2 popsicles, right? And
for both of you guys to eat?
for her and her man. So what does he do? She gives him his popsicle, introduces us. He
Mhm.
introduces, say, we just met, this is Luann. And he goes, here, Luann, here, have my popsicle. What a gentleman.
Okay.
He gave me the popsicle that his girlfriend just gave him.
Oh, that's so...
And so I go over to the girls and say, you'll never guess what happened, But I went for it. I waited. I saw that he had a girlfriend, and that was just fine. I got rejected in a way, but I don't let that rejection take me down.
So the guy had a girlfriend.
Yes.
And you were kind of swimming around this dude shark-like.
Yes.
Or however they said.
I think it was shark-like, but okay.
I think it was dolphin. It was graceful. It was beautiful.
It was graceful.
It was a stingray.
That's true.
And the girlfriend swims up to you and this man, and he took the popsicle that she brought for him and gave it to you.
Yes.
Do you think that that was a great gesture? And
I think it was a great gesture. Now, the girlfriend could have taken it many ways. Now, if you're insecure, okay, if you're insecure and you don't think you're great, then you're going to feel maybe bad about that. But that's on you. That's not on me.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes, totally.
So she didn't have any problem with it. She thought, what a gentleman I have. He offered the lady a popsicle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's all the way that you look at things. And when I say talk to yourself in a positive way, that's what I mean. You know, what you say to yourself and what you put in the universe makes a big difference.
It does.
So negative self-talk has to go.
Yes.
It's only positive self-talk. Like I'm manifesting this year, 2024 is my year for love again. And I know that's going to happen because
I'm saying it right here, right now.
I'm saying it right now. And I believe very much in manifestation. I believe in energy. What you put out there means something. So.
So, and I'm going to just piggyback off of you. And I'm going to say 2024 is my year for love.
There you go, Sophia. There you go.
My energy and my aura. I'm not going to say in a podcast, I've never been in love. I'm going to say I am so ready for love this year.
Exactly.
It did scare me a little bit when you said you don't have all day type of thing.
Right.
Because you don't.
No, you only have today. I mean, or this moment, actually. You know,
True.
You could walk across the street and God forbid anything happens to you, but you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So people think, you know, oh, there's time. But you know what? There's only this time. I live in the present. I don't live in yesterday and I don't live in tomorrow. You know, I mean, like I have a big cabaret show coming up in Los Angeles. It's
yes, you
all
do.
new. Got a lot of celebrities coming. I'm only thinking today, and no matter how much I worry about how well that show is going to go, the show is going to go how the show is going to go.
Performing live. So do you not freak out before? I was about to say, do you take propranolol, which is something that my psychiatrist prescribed me?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's for stage fright. But you know, that dries out your voice. So
does it?
It does. It does really.
I have noticed that.
Yeah, it dries out your voice really bad.
Do you see me here with a water bottle? Okay.
You got to drink lots of fluids on that stuff. But no, you know, there's always, you get the jitters, but I'm the kind of person, I get out there and then I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. You know what I mean? But you always get pre-jitters. And then, you know, once I start going, you have to take me off with a hook. That's how I'm like a showgirl. I'm built for cabaret. It's my passion. It's something that I love to do. You know, I've been doing it for 6 years, since 2018. And, you know, I love performing. And I think people can see that. I mean, you know, if somebody loves what they're doing or they're not. You know what I mean? Either they're having a good time and you're along on the ride, or you're not. You're like uncomfortable for them already. Do you know what I mean?
Totally. You
know, and I enjoy it. You know, I build the show. I pick all the music, all the stories I tell you, or the stories you're never going to hear on Housewives. Do you know what I mean? Because people think they know me from Housewives, but they really don't. I mean, they know just 2 minutes of my life each episode.
Yep.
So I get to share with you things that you never know.
The real
you know, I show, you know, I tell stories from my past about, you know, great mentors I've had in my life. You know, I sing everything from Stevie Nicks to David Bowie.
So you dance and sing live?
I do.
That's incredible. I would do anything to go to one of your shows.
You would love it. It is a party. So, you know, I love my fans. First of all, they come dressed in their sequins, their statement necklaces. They show up for me. And I love that. And, you know, they're so supportive. I always say I can trip and fall, and they'd be like, oh my God, that was so elegant, Countess. You know what I mean? I feel so much love in that room. And, you know, I put on a great show. I always say people come in a Toyota and they drive out in a Rolls Royce because they don't know what to expect. And I put on a great show. You know, again, it's like cabaret meets comedy meets pop culture.
Yeah.
So, you know, I show clips. I sing, I tell stories, I tell jokes.
I mean, just your presence here. I can
Yeah.
only imagine you up on a stage.
Oh no, it is really a fun ride. And, the proof is in, the ticket sales, and people are loving the show. And I've gotten great reviews. I just did 3 shows in New York. Broadway World said it was dazzling. And so, that gives me a lot of pleasure, and I'm kind of spreading a lot of joy is kind of what I do with my show. And it's old school. It's like, God rest in peace, Chita Rivera, who was such an icon. And I had such a pleasure of working with her at one point to do a charity event for Broadway Cares. I've gotten to work with Liza Minnelli. I've gotten to work with all the, icons in the business. And so I bring something to the stage that's very kind of old school, but
meets
pop
new
culture.
school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you ever thought about doing Broadway?
Well, yeah, people ask me that all the time. Maybe my new tour, Mary F. Kill, will go to Broadway.
I love that that's the name of the tour, by the way, Mary F. Kill.
Well, again, I was inspired by my audience because I do a Q&A in my shows, and I always get asked the question, who would I marry, who would I F, and who I would kill? Now, we're not killing anybody, but it's who would you get rid of? So I wrote a song, so I have a new song coming out, Mary F. Kill, which you are going to love. And it inspired me to write a whole show about who is it that we want to marry? Who is it that we want to F? Who is it that we want to kill, right? Who do we want to get rid of? So, it's like I say to my niece, who's in her 30s as well, I said, it's time to start aiming at the bullseye. You can't just shoot your arrows wherever.
Yes.
Now let's aim. Let's aim and get it right in the center of what you really want. And that goes back to manifestation.
Hola, bonjour, konnichiwa. Get your passports out, sleuths. I don't know where the hell we're going, but we are going somewhere. But before we hit the road, we're learning a new language. Because how else are we gonna flirt for free drinks internationally? I can only bat my eyes so much without looking like I'm having a seizure. You know what I mean? Rosetta Stone, people, the most trusted language learning program so that you can really speak the language for flirting or otherwise. I'm going to be including Rosetta Stone in my daily routine so A, I feel smarter and become smarter, but B, so that by the time summer rolls around, I'll be just fluent enough to get my point across in any country. If you know what I mean by getting my point across. Rosetta Stone is the trusted language expert for over 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered. It immerses you in every way possible and is specially designed for long-term retention. And it's so easy. Available from your desktop or phone, Rosetta Stone will never be too far away. Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. For a very limited time, Sofia with an F listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off at rosettastone.com/Sofia. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/Sofia today. I was in the middle of personal training and I was talking about freezing my eggs, and my trainer said at age 35, it's considered a geriatric pregnancy.
Right? And guys can just, look at Alec Baldwin. He's still having kids at this age. It's crazy.
Geriatric pregnancy mean 4 years?
Well, listen, if you're thinking about it, then do it. Again, goes back to manifestation. Don't think about it, do it.
But should
Why
I
not?
freeze the eggs, or else is that kind of putting into the world that I don't really need love right now?
No, that's putting into the world, I'm going to do this just in case. It's called a backup plan.
Okay.
Because you can so you freeze your eggs and then you find the love of your life at, 37, 38,
Luann,
whatever it is.
31 or 32.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, but at least you
2024.
have that safety net.
Of course.
And that makes, so the safety net, guess what? makes you more relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not so
Clingy.
desperate and
Yes.
clingy to find the guy. You see, that's the point of the eggs.
I
A
like
la
that.
Francaise.
All of Francais, exactly.
Get a lot of them. And keep your options open. Guess what? This is going to give you a sense of, of tranquility and like, it's okay. It's okay. So you're not worried about it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Have you ever stayed in a relationship knowing it was wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
But not for long.
Not for long.
Right.
So you're pretty good about just getting out of there.
Well, when there is doubt, I think that often life takes care of itself. You're like trying to
True.
figure out what to do, and then something happens and it's done.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So for me, the first marriage was like, I don't know if I can live in Switzerland any longer. I got to move back to the States. I wanted to work again, but that wasn't going to really work for the marriage. But I took a chance. And
it wouldn't work for the marriage in
Right.
the sense of...
Well, the separation, because
Okay,
he was
got
in
it.
Europe and I was in America, and I was thinking we could make... Anyway, so that, that separation, that, you have to keep close to your guy.
Okay, so you really think that. You don't think long distance is really something
Well,
that can
does long
work?
distance ever work out? Have you heard of a successful long distance relationship?
Maybe not, but I think a short distance
can't
one
name any.
doesn't work either.
Well, it's about giving each other space, but at the same time being connected. You have to be connected. You have to have sex. You have to,
Mm-hmm.
be on the same page. You have to have each other's backs. You can't do that if you're in another country. It's
Yes.
kind of hard
Yes.
to have sex in another country,
I
Unless-
agree. I mean, you would know more than I would because I'm
Yeah,
over here.
And when I talk about life takes care of itself, like, and my second marriage, to Tom,
Mm-hmm.
that just took care of itself in so many ways. And I couldn't figure out how am I going to get out of this and not look bad because it was only 7 months later.
It's like but it's also like who
I mean,
cares if you look
Who
bad?
cares? But you know what? I had to get over that little hump.
Yeah.
And, and we all have the same problems. And basically we just all need to be loved,
Yeah.
and give love.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Life is not worth living without love.
It's true.
It really isn't. So get out there and take a chance and lead with your heart. And it's really hard to go wrong when you do it that way.
Wow.
I know I should
You
do my own dating.
You should
I should do a dating podcast or tips on
Yes.
flirting or whatever. I'll come on and be your guest a lot. We'll talk.
I love that.
We'll talk.
You have every tip I mean, that's really smart though, is to lead with your heart. And it
Yes.
sounds cliche, right? And corny, but it's so true.
It's called the heart-mind connection,
Mm.
right? So look
Mhm.
that up.
Well, can you tell me about it?
Well, because when you
Because I
again,
obviously don't
when you're
have it.
leading with your heart and you think with your heart and you're not trying to calculate, like, oh, he checks all the boxes. He's rich, he's good looking, he's this, he's that, and whatever. And then, you miss the box, which is like, I don't know, he's a drug addict or he's,
Mhm.
or he's a gaslighter or he's, you know what I mean? So, and then you go, well, I can fix him.
No,
Right?
I've never been a fixer, but yes, I know a lot of people
Okay, we do that all the time, but then we get into our head.
Yes.
And we're not thinking, what does my heart say? What does our gut tell us? And when I say heart, it really has to do with your gut because
The gut.
our gut is our first brain. The gut always knows, I do love him, but there's, it always tells you here. And then what we do is we take our gut instinct and we go into our mind.
And then we talk ourselves
And then
out
we
of
talk
it.
ourselves out of it, into it, out of it.
Right.
This is where we go wrong.
All around. I've seen so many studies have been done
Yes.
showing that going with your gut reaction
Mhm.
is 9 times out of 10
And well, guess what that is?
more accurate.
That's your
Heart.
and soul.
That's your microbiome. That's why
Yeah.
everyone take your probiotics
Well, do you know
in the gut.
there's more neurons in your gut than there
Wow.
are in your head. So guess
Okay.
what? That's why it's called gut instinct, because it knows what to do. And then the
Okay.
head fucks with us. Oh, whoops.
No, sweetheart, we can say the F
Oh,
word.
okay. I don't know. I'm used to TV where you can't say the F bomb.
No. We say the F word quite a bit
Do
here.
you know my song F bombs on the G with the OGs? You have to listen to that.
F bombs on. I know the like core
Money,
songs.
yeah,
but
Money,
I don't know
Chic,
about that one.
Giovanni.
C'est la vie.
F-bombs.
We were
Chic,
listening
c'est la
to
vie,
it.
c'est bon, c'est bon. So F-bombs I wrote after we did the first Ultimate Girls trip. Remember when Kenya Moore was there and Ramona and myself and they had Beverly Hills. Kyle came, and then we had Jersey. And so that song was all about how, F-bombs were flying on the G4 with the OGs when we first took off to go to the Turks and Caicos. Anyway, you have to check out that song. Bravo made a video for it, which is pretty amazing with all of the housewives in it.
It sounds amazing.
It's more of a rap song, which I love.
So you're rapping.
It's kind of rapping, yeah.
Okay.
It's a rap.
What can't she do? What can she not do? So I'm going to rewind and do a little segue. You put out a book, and maybe two, on etiquette.
Yeah, no, I just did Class with the Countess, How to Live with Elegance and Flair.
Okay.
That was back in 2009 when I wrote Money Can't Buy You Class, and that's really where that song came from. Because, I was living in Europe for a long time, and then I moved back to the States, and I just couldn't get over a lot of the, behavior that was going on.
Yeah.
So I felt it was important, and I intertwined this book with stories of my life, et cetera, and share my tips on how to be elegant, because we have to learn how to be elegant.
Yeah.
We're not born elegant. And certain people have more class than others just naturally, right? But then we have to learn, how to pick up our utensils at a seated dinner party in, the south of France.
Right.
Or, who walks in the door first, in the revolving door. Is it the guy? Is it the girl? Who gets in the taxi first?
The
right?
taxi.
Taxi. No, let the guy scooch over,
Wait, let the guy scooch over.
He opens the door, he climbs in, because do you want to slide across in your sequin dress? You're going to lose a lot of sequins that way.
So that's like a big debate. A lot of people think the man should open the car door for you and let you in.
But then jump in and let you get in last.
So he should slide in.
Yeah, because then you got to shimmy with your beautiful dress on, right?
Right.
Then you got to step over the hump of, the other seat and et cetera. So, and like revolving doors, the boy gets in and he pushes that door first, making it easier for you to glide right in. He walks into the room first, not you.
He does?
Yes. He doesn't. He comes over to the table to say hello to you. You don't get up and go over to the table to say hello to him. It's because women give permission. And we forget that. Women, like the queen, for example, you don't go to the queen and give your hand to her. It's up to her to extend her hand to you.
Yes.
Women give permission for those to enter.
Yes.
And that's important. And whether it's with your eyes, called flirting, hi, I'm, okay, this is what is flirting.
Like looking at a guy from across
yes,
the way.
And believe me, he's going to know that you're interested in him by the way you look at him. And this is his cue to come over and say hello to you.
Okay. Would you ever stand up and walk over to him and introduce yourself?
Well, listen, we are living in 2024. I, personally would not.
I wouldn't.
I think, and I say, listen, take a chance and put yourself out there, et cetera, but there's a way of doing things.
Yeah, you just bat your eyelashes. I just got a lash lift. I'm going to bat them as much as I can, and that's what I'm going to do.
It's the old handkerchief thing, like I was saying in my cabaret show the other night, and we'll get back to cabaret, but it's the old handkerchief thing, You see a guy at Chase Bank, whatever, it used to be you drop a handkerchief and he'll come and pick it up. Now you have to be near the guy that you're interested in, of course, because, if he's halfway across the bank, he's not going to see.
You got to shark
You got to go put yourself around him. And, today, who's carrying a handkerchief? So, I'm like, drop $100 bill. Believe me, he's going to notice, going to pick it up. And that's when you can engage with him and make that eye contact and show him that you are interested in him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So women really do give permission is the point.
Yes. How do you feel about if I was at dinner and there was a table of guys and I was really attracted to one of them and I gave him my panties on the way out?
No, I think I think that's a little much. I would send a note to the table.
Okay. And what does the note say?
The note says, "Why don't you join us for a drink?"
What? See, I don't even think of. I'm straight to the underwear.
Just say it. No, why? That's a little overkill, darling.
I mean, I've never done it, but it sounds kind of fun. But I don't even the mirror, the lipstick.
Well,
on the
I would
mirror.
be turned off if I was a guy and you were to send me underwear. I'd be like,
that sends a sign.
How many underwears does she have in her bag?
Right, right.
But if you write a little note and have somebody bring it over, like the waiter, and say,
Mm-hmm.
you see that guy over there? Can you just send him this note?
I like that a lot.
So there's certain instances, and and that's a great way of doing things, because you're not going to get up and go over there. How embarrassing.
No.
What if he's married? What if his woman is in the bathroom and she comes back to the table and there you stand? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you gotta guard yourself also.
You have this down to a
you have to
science.
be your own bouncer.
Yes.
You have to take care of yourself.
Totally.
You put yourself out there, but not when you might get hurt. I mean, you
Yes.
try not to get hurt.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you one last dating/marriage question. What do you think is more important in a relationship? If we're talking marriage,
Mhm.
chemistry or compatibility? And can you have both?
Chemistry, yeah. Well, of course. I mean, you're asking me to choose.
Yes, we'll choose.
For me, I would pick chemistry any day.
So great sex, but they're like,
So
you can't really
compatibility
have...
is calculated, isn't it? Oh, he
Yes.
likes that. I like that. Well,
Yes,
maybe like,
true.
it's a little bit more calculated. Remember, lead with your heart. So chemistry goes with heart. 'Cause
So,
it's
okay.
magic. It's called magic.
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 Okay. Chemistry,
Remember
magic.
magic?
I don't remember. I think
That's
it
a
was...
song I should sing in my show.
You should, absolutely.
You can, what is it? Be magic, or you can have magic. You can do
You got the
magic.
magic
No,
in me.
mine's the old one. You can do magic. You can have everything that you desire. Magic, right? You're the one who can put out the fire or light the fire.
Okay, I love that. I was singing a different
Who sings
magic
that?
song, but we'll figure it out. We'll hum into Google. I guess, okay, let me ask you this. If it boils down to a guy that's going to give you the best sex of your life,
Mm-hmm.
conversation is lacking. Like intellectually, he's not really stimulating,
Mhm.
or even emotionally. That or...
It's called a one-night stand.
End of
That's what's called a one-night
discussion.
That's
And-
called a one-night stand.
Okay, so if the conversation and all of those things are not there, then that is not someone you marry. Like you don't marry just...
How could you marry somebody that doesn't have a good intellectual game going? What interest is there,
Right.
after the sex? I mean,
Right.
that's why I call it a one-night stand.
Yeah. I should make those more into one night stands.
You're going to have to write a list
instead
of all the shit I just told you.
No,
There's a lot of,
actually.
listen, I have been so lucky in my life. I've had great mentors.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them being a woman called Honeychild. And Honeychild used to work in the old days with Bob Hope in radio. And they used to say, wherever there's hope, there's honey. And Honey gave me some real silly advice. The first one was, Lou, always be the first to the party, leave the party, never the last. Keep them guessing where you've gone. It's called a little mystery, right? I mean, I failed at that one, but the times that I did it, it worked every single time.
I mean, did you
got to
fail?
grab a guy's attention. Sure, so we've often stayed too long at parties, and
Right.
and then then there's no interest anymore.
Mhm.
It's kind of like, it's the mystery. Like somebody catches your eye, etc. You stay for a while, you flirt with the eyes, whatever, and then it's time to go.
That's my forte. An Irish
Good for
goodbye.
you. Irish goodbye. It's good. Now, the other one was, if they're not talking about you, might as well be dead. And that one I scored an A+ on, that's for sure. But great mentors are everything. I've learned from great mentors in my life. And that, that just comes with age,
Mhm.
and I'm living my best life in my 50s. I really am. So
I can see
I hope
it.
I inspire you, darling.
I can see it. When you, at the very beginning, when you said, the show started 15 years ago,
Right.
I was like looking at your face like, wait, shit's not adding up.
Oh, thank
Like,
you.
you look incredible.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
You really, really do.
Thank you for that. My mother is 95. She just turned 95.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It helps to have some good genes too.
It does. Do you do sunscreen, skincare, all of that?
Sure. But I think it's
genes.
It's genes and Botox.
It's genes and Botox.
Sure.
Which, by the way, actually, I'm going to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
There's-
Don't tell everybody everything, okay?
I know, right?
They don't need to know
that's what
everything.
having a podcast is it's like, and then I just reveal too much. which has also kind of been an issue in dating
Well,
for me.
it's not a
But you
bad thing,
probably
but you
run
want to
into
keep
that.
some mystery, No.
Yeah.
When I first started doing Housewives, I remember telling the crew, the producers, you see this bedroom right here? See this door? Don't go near it. You're not going in the door. That's my bedroom. That's my private space, and you're not allowed. So we have to make boundaries also,
Yeah.
for ourselves. And that's where I talk about being your own best security guard.
Yes, because no one will do it for you.
Right. But, it's the balancing act.
Don't be too guarded. Don't be too
guarded.
much.
No, don't be too guarded, and don't be, loose lips,
Loose lip
Hallahan,
sink
whatever we call it.
ships. Wait,
loose lip sync ships. That's true.
Something about lip syncing and loose lip sync ships. I think that's where I started to mess it up.
One day I was in the south of France, and I said to a woman on her yacht, I said, so what do you do? And she says, I'm a lady of leisure. I was like, whoa.
How do you...
Wow, how mysterious is that?
How mysterious and how...
That was like, fuck you, mystery, all in the same sentence.
Yes.
Like how... so the answer was really, I take care of my husband. I take care of my yacht. I take care of my guests. I make sure your champagne glass is full. I got plenty to do, girl.
See, you took more from it than I did. What were the words again? Because I need to add it.
She simply said to me, I'm a lady of leisure.
See, that means to me,
She
lay
takes
on this
time
yacht
to take care of herself, her family, her things. This idea that we all have to work our asses off. I mean,
I'm over it.
Yeah. No, it's time to throw down that handkerchief, darling. Let the man pick it up.
The $100 bill.
Yeah, but now it's a $100 bill because it's 2024. But the point is to not be so hard, and because I just know that every man loves a damsel in distress.
True. They
do. They love those
do.
girls and because it gives them power as a man. I'm afraid, during this time, we've taken over. Women are ruling the universe right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's amazing. And God knows I, love my career. I love my cabaret, and all of that. But don't forget about that soft side that men want to feel like they can swoop in and save the day because they need, they need that. Men are men, and this comes in their genes. Talk about, gut instinct and all those things. That's, so it's managing your damsel and managing your diva. Oh, that's good.
Ooh, that's
Write
good.
that down, Roger.
Write that down. That was mine.
Not to manage your diva and your damsel.
I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you. I love this new wave feminism.
Yes.
Certain aspects of it.
Yes.
I have seen my mom, who has been married several times.
Mm-hmm.
She's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
She's always been the breadwinner.
Right.
And that is why it hasn't worked out. Because a year or two in, the guy feels not as much of a man.
Right. Well, Jill Zarin said to me something very interesting years ago. She said, you can't have two peacocks. There can only be one peacock. You know what I mean?
Very true.
Yeah. So I think
I'm the peacock. Look at my hair.
Yeah, look, you are a peacock. You're gorgeous.
Gorgeous and
your mom
hair.
must be gorgeous. But you know what I mean? And that it goes back to managing the damsel and the diva. Because, we have careers. You have your podcast, was just kicking it. And, and I my cabaret career, and my TV career. So I'm, and I'm a mom, and I'm the concierge, and I'm, the driver, and I'm, we women, wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
But we can't forget to take off our hats sometimes and put our feet up and let somebody rub our backs.
I totally agree. I act broke.
Well, I don't know if broke is the way you want to go.
Just kidding. Not broke, unless it's like a...
And I'm not talking either about financially being a damsel.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm messing around.
But just, that little bit of like,
I need a little bit of guidance.
I need you. I need a man. I need love. That is what I talk when I talk about your energy you're putting out. Like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
I want love from you.
Yep.
I want energy from you. Come on over here.
Yes. Come on over
Come over here and have a little cocktail with me. Why not?
You are just, I mean, there's been
You
like
didn't know where you were getting today,
there's been
Sophia. I can tell
20
you that.
things to put on a t-shirt already
I know,
from
right?
you.
Oh my God, I love it.
Okay.
And I'm going to use this as my cabaret show because my next show is February 16th for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So my next show is February 16th for Valentine's Day and Galentine's Day at the Wiltern in Los Angeles. It's the opening of my tour. I cannot wait because everyone's going to hear Mary F. Kill for the first time. And then I'm going off to Boston, March 1st, and the 2nd I'm in Connecticut at Foxwoods Casino. Then I'll be at the Paramount in Long Island, which is one of my favorite places, on March 16th. So the Paramount actually is in Long Island at the Paramount.
Okay.
You know, where I live. I lived on Long Island for many years. So I'm excited to do the Paramount because it's one of my favorite venues.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was dating a guy who lived there in his parents' like $8 million mansion there.
In the Huntington?
Mm-hmm. No, I think it was like Sands Point.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some beautiful homes in
But it was his parents.
Well, I know. Well,
but maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not a bad thing.
Oh, here we go with the calculating mind.
I know.
Here we go with the calculating mind.
To knock it off. Luann, you need to have a podcast.
Right? I think, it should be like a mentoring one, really. I mean, I can't talk, what you're going through as a 30-year-old. Obviously, I've been there. My nieces are in their 30s. So I get you. And, life takes care of itself, but just lead with your heart and
manifest
and don't calculate so much and just take a chance.
Yes.
You never know what's going to happen.
I made some big changes just in the past few months going with my gut.
Yeah, good.
And it makes all the difference because
really
you end up at the same conclusion, or if you end up at the other conclusion, it didn't make that much of a difference.
No, but what you have to remember is you have a good time. All those experiences are like rungs on a ladder that get you to where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like heartbreak. Okay, I got heartbroken when I grew up in Connecticut. I was a nurse. A lot of people don't know that about me. I am a nurse still, because once a nurse, always a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And and I was dating a guy, and my heart got broken. Let me just put it that way without giving away too much, because I'm actually going to tell this story in Mary F. Kill. But he broke my heart. And you know what? That heartbreak catapulted me to New York. And that would forever change my life. So,
I ended up in New York from a heartbreak.
There you go. So, all these things are like lining us up to where we're supposed to be in that certain train station where those doors are going to open.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And guess what? What's the worst thing that could happen? You get back home on the train and you go home.
True.
And that's it.
Were you looking for love when you met your first husband?
No, I had an
modeling?
Italian boyfriend. I used to work for Italian television. I used to be a TV star in Italy, by the way. I used to work for Italian
Can you
television.
speak Italian?
Io parlo abbastanza bene italiano.
Okay, I love that.
No, I speak Italian and French, which a lot of people, well, you do know from chic, c'est la vie, c'est bon, c'est bon. But, I spent many years in Europe, and so I speak 3 languages. And I was dating an Italian when I met the Count. I was at a dinner party. He wasn't there. He had to go on a business trip to Berlin, to Germany. And that one night changed the rest of my life.
Wait, the Italian didn't show up?
No, he was on a business trip, and I was seated next to Alex.
Oh my God.
I had no idea who he was either, but I knew that he was going to be my man. I just knew it.
Wow. That's really romantic.
It is romantic, and let's not forget about romance.
Mm-hmm.
Why not be romantic? Leave a love note, send a love note, leave a lipstick on the mirror in the morning for Valentine's Day.
For Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And then your cabaret show on February 16th will be the first one.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking about that. I need a mirror with the big red lipstick that I'm going to use on stage.
Yes. Yes. And you have to go up and give it
exactly.
smooch.
Exactly.
What's the best Valentine's Day gift you've ever received? I have to know before I let you go.
Well, I have to say the Count was very generous, and I always got a piece of jewelry for Valentine's Day. So, and
is it classless to say how much?
Oh, yes.
Okay. See, that's what I'm asking.
But, another one was simply a love note from a recent boyfriend. So
that's really cute.
Yeah. So, it doesn't really matter what the gift is. It's what it means to you and what it means coming
Yeah.
from him.
Yeah. It would depend because
Right.
the
So,
gift might matter.
I'll give you a great example. You're going to get that hurt box of chocolates. Now, if a guy you really are into
You're gonna
gives you
say-
those chocolates, you're going to be like, oh, how cute. And if a guy you don't give a shit about gives you those chocolates, you're going to throw them in the garbage.
Yeah. That's just the truth.
That's
period.
the example.
Okay, and we'll leave it there.
Yeah, lead with your heart, box of chocolates.
Lead with your heart, and then a little bit of diva, a little bit of damsel.
Yes.
That was Luann's, by the way. Just making that very clear. Luann, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Sophia. And I am manifesting for you love this year, along
my
with myself.
God.
I'll be thinking about you.
I will too. I'll be thinking about you as well. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. Okay, Sleuths, talk to you next week. Bye.